Track 1, Introduction. 638 Canadian words and 23 Canadian phrases to sound smarter and be more respected in Canada. Our word titles in the Sound Smarter and Be More Respected series have done well in the United States. Several Canadians suggested we attempt the same feat for Canada, so we were off and running. Being born in Toronto, a guide in Algonquin Park, an essential thing to do, or pretend to have done if from Ontario, I met two of the requirements. Enjoy these words and please email us your suggested additions and subtractions. We'll make this work better that way. SimplyMagazineCD@AOL.com. Several books have separated Canadian words into various subject groupings. We took the lead from the Canadian Oxford Dictionary, which follows the tradition of listing words in alphabetical order. It is the way we are used to dictionaries, much like keyboards, which use the QWERTY system, even though more cumbersome than other proposed ones. It also means they are easier to look up by audio track or in the eBook version. In simple terms, we humans were used to QWERTY in typing, so kept it despite other more efficient systems. Americans jettisoned the metric system because they were comfortable with the old English system of pounds and feet. In sum, we have followed that familiar approach here with alphabetical order. A side note is that Canadian academics and journalists seem to be somewhat ambivalent about the existence of a Canadian language. The rest of Canadians don't seem to be, and easily recognize their language when we toss the words around. As in most things, I suppose, the people were well ahead of the experts. A comforting thought, and one we hope is true. Canadians have introduced simple and helpful abbreviations, such as AFT for afternoon, AGRO for agriculture workers, and more broadly in other fields. These 638 words sound like the Canada we know and love. Weather, snow, ice, fish, hockey, canoes, the country motto being sea to sea, localities, brevity, and more. We should also add that many words and phrases express a sense of humor not found as frequently in other versions of English. A personal favorite is banquet burger. No dull quarter-pounder for Canada, the fast food banquet. Each province has added helpful and descriptive words, many of which have migrated across Canada. But Newfoundland definitely wins the race, followed closely by the Inuits. The Inuits have rehabilitated the Q with many interesting words starting with one. Above all, I have tried to select words that are humorous as well as descriptive, such as bullbird. Also, unlike the U.S. and other countries, the provinces often have very different words for a common item, such as convenience stores. They are a dairy in Cape Breton, a dep in Quebec, jug milk in Ontario, and a milk store in various other places. After reading and listening to these words, and I think both are in order, most of us cannot help but have a greater respect for Canadian uniqueness. As Canadians, and half of me is that, we continually tend to be defensive about who we are, our individuality, and the rest of it. Much of that, of course, relates to the giant lying to our south. Well, the giant can't help being there, and in most ways outclasses the rest of the world. So we are not alone to feel somewhat in the shadow of all that. However, we aren't Aussies on our own many thousands of miles away, or Norway in the other direction. But we are next door and share with the giant many good things. One thing this work showed me is that our words and thoughts are indeed unique, with no nation like us. Enjoy that, and enjoy reading and listening to these words. Frankly, I like the audios better because they can wash over you as you travel, commute, or just listen at home. Note that the phrases that are distinctly Canadian but obvious to parse out, such as hockey jacket, aren't listed. Track 2, A's and one number. 24 Sussex Drive, official residence of the Prime Minister, hour 10.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?